Hi, I'm Mark Middlebrook, and I'm here in the Paul Marcus Wines Cantina. And in this segment, I'm going to talk about Barbera, the tangy, all-purpose, wonderful red wine from the Piemonte region of northwest Italy. Barbera is a grape variety. It's indigenous to this part of Italy, although it's grown in other areas of Italy too, and even in the United States a little bit, some other places. But Barbera is kind of the everyday wine that Piemonte is known for. Typically, if you just have an ordinary glass of red wine when you're there, it's often going to be Barbera. There are several different appellations, or what the Italians call DOCs, for Barbera, and that's simply a named wine type. The most common one that you'll see, at least in the United States, is Barbera d'Alba. And so Barbera is a grape variety again. Alba is the town around which the vineyards are located. And there are many, many, many different producers of it. This particular one is the Filippo Galino Barbera d'Alba. He's just north of, about half an hour north of Alba itself. This is a fresh, fruity version done aged entirely in stainless steel. So relatively modestly priced, $13, $14. And I drink a lot of this with pizza, pasta, lasagna. It's tangy, bright acidity, makes it go really well with anything that has tomatoes in it, but also other sorts of food, chicken, barbecue, things like that. This is another Barbera d'Alba from a different producer, Cascina Rossa, not too far from Filippo's vineyards, as a matter of fact, Filippo Galino. This is done in a little different style where the wine is aged in barrique, in smaller wooden barrels for some time, to give it a little more texture, a little more complexity. Also, the vineyards are a little bit older for this particular wine, which gives more complexity to it. So this is a little more ambitious style of Barbera. Would cost more like $25 or $30 retail. You might have that with a heartier sorts of food or cheeses, slightly more special occasion wine. And then another DOC, another appellation for Barbera is called Barbera d'Asti. So Asti is another village, town in Piemonte, about 40-minute drive from Alba itself. Traditionally, Asti-style Barberas have been a little brighter, a little lighter, a little livelier, sometimes a little simpler. But nowadays, I don't think there's such a big distinction. It really depends more on the producer, where the vineyards are located, how they've worked in the vineyards, and how they've made the wine. This particular Barbera d'Asti is from a wonderful producer called Vietti, and this is his bottling called Tre Vigne, which simply means 3 vineyards. So he blends fruit from 3 different vineyards in the Asti region. Barbera is probably my favorite everyday Italian wine. Again, anytime I'm having those stereotypical Italian foods that have tomatoes or tomato sauce in them, I drink it. But it goes well with anything that's not super protein heavy.